Have you ever wondered why some elderly men and women, well into their 80s, can still go to the market, hike, garden, or even play sports every day with joy and energy? Meanwhile, many others in their early 60s already rely on chairs, canes, or family members just to stand up or take a step. These striking contrasts inevitably make us ponder. Is it all just luck, genetics, or is there a secret we've never been told? The truth, in fact, doesn't lie in our genes, nor does it lie in expensive supplements. It lies in the smallest, seemingly simple things, repeated day after day. Those who maintain vibrant energy in their old age haven't somehow escaped aging. They've simply found ways to live so their bodies aren't left behind. They don't give in to time. They choose to care for their health with consistency, determination, and deep understanding. Over the years, scientists from Harvard, Tufts University, the Mayo Clinic, and many other leading research institutions have begun delving into the lives of elderly individuals who remain independent right up to their final days. They call this the phenomenon of aging without weakness, a powerful reminder that age doesn't have to be a sentence on your health, but just a number, if you live the right way. What's fascinating is that, when closely observing those still agile in their 80s and 90s, you'll find they don't have any grand secrets. Not one of them does anything extraordinary. They simply stick to humble, familiar habits, eating in moderation, sleeping on time, moving every day, getting early sunlight, breathing steadily, living joyfully, and most notably, quietly maintaining muscle strength with great effect. Yet unfortunately, many of us are headed in the opposite direction. Some people believe that just a few laps around the house are enough to stay healthy. Others load up on food at dinner, unaware that the body actually needs protein most in the morning. Some fear cold water, not knowing that just 30 seconds of cold showers a day can activate the immune system and enhance muscle strength. And many assume that growing weaker with age is inevitable, something that can't be resisted. But the truth is different. Our bodies, even at 80, still have the ability to recover, still have the potential to become stronger if we truly understand what they need and do the right things. It doesn't take much, just a little each day, done right, done consistently, and the body will respond, quietly but surely, with positive changes. What matters most isn't how much we can do, but whether we choose to do it at all. Choosing to start, even with something small, like standing up and sitting down a few times each morning, like spending 5 minutes walking through the garden, like adding a boiled egg to breakfast, or simply going to bed half an hour earlier, dimming the lights, and giving the body the rest it truly deserves. Because real strength in old age doesn't lie in big, dramatic acts. It lies in the ability to care for yourself independently, freely, and proactively. It's about living the life you want, without dependence, without waiting. It's about being healthy enough to go where you please, do what you love, and live each day to the fullest. And this entire journey can begin today, this very moment, with the first habit, one that seems simple, but forms the strongest foundation in resisting the aging of the body. Let us begin with the first habit, building strength step by step, the most effective anti-aging practice. When it comes to staying healthy in old age, most people immediately think of gentle activities like walking around the yard, slow cycling, or simply doing a few stand-up and sit-down motions each day. Those are good, but not enough. Scientists at Tufts University, one of the world's leading centers for aging research, have discovered that the true key to fighting aging and preserving dignity in old age lies in strength training. They call it nature's anti-aging medicine because it not only firms up your muscles, but also maintains flexibility, increases bone density, protects joints, and reduces the risk of falling, a major cause of lost independence in the elderly. Strength training doesn't mean lifting heavy weights or going to the gym. It's much simpler than that, and it can be done right at home. Older adults only need to practice step by step, consistently, 2 to 3 times a week, with each session lasting around 20 to 30 minutes, for the body to undergo noticeable change. You can start with familiar, yet incredibly effective exercises. Sit to stand, 10 repetitions every morning to maintain strength in your thighs, hips, and knees. Carrying a light shopping bag around the yard, a full-body workout that gently strengthens arms and shoulders. Wall pushes, chair lifts, or free squats. These send strong signals to your muscles, activating their ability to repair and grow. You don't need fancy equipment. A chair, a wall, 2 small bags of rice, or a full water bottle. These are enough to begin. And most importantly, don't stick with just light exercise. Muscles are smart. If they aren't challenged, they go into sleep mode. But the moment you increase the intensity, say, by adding a few extra reps each week, or lifting something slightly heavier, your body immediately wakes up and responds with increased resilience and strength. A study at the University of Alabama tracked hundreds of older adults over 12 weeks. The results showed that those who trained properly gained an average of 1.5 kilograms of muscle and improved their overall strength by up to 35%. Beyond that, they experienced reduced joint pain, better memory, and improved blood sugar control. And here's something truly amazing. Strength training doesn't just make your body stronger, it lifts your spirit too. When you feel steady in your steps, capable in your actions, a natural sense of confidence and joy begins to return. I once met an 84-year-old woman in Vinlong. Every day, she simply did 10 sit-to-stands, carried 2 bottles of water around the yard for 5 minutes, and pushed against a wall for 1 minute. After 3 months, she told me, "My back feels straighter, I walk without fear of falling, and most importantly, I can do everything by myself without having to call my kids." That's true freedom, and it's something we'll all want one day. Of course, you don't need to train until you're exhausted. The goal isn't to sweat as much as possible, but to send a clear message to your body. Your muscles are still needed, and you still want to live well, actively, and on your own terms. Just a few sessions each week, paired with a suitable diet, can make your body more agile, your steps steadier, your breath smoother, and most importantly, it means you're still in control of your life, one step at a time. And once we begin caring about physical strength, we can't ignore something just as important, though often overlooked, the connection between muscle and brain. Because muscles don't just need strength, they need precise commands from the nervous system. Just like a machine needs power to run, your muscles only function well when your brain sends the right signals, fast and strong enough. But as we age, those biological power lines begin to weaken. Coordination slows, reflexes dull, and movement becomes less efficient. So how do we keep those neural pathways flowing smoothly, so that every step and every movement stays quick and confident? We'll explore that in habit number 2, a quiet secret to maintaining the vital connection between your muscles and your brain, so that no matter your age, you can keep walking steadily on your own 2 feet. There's one thing many people tend to overlook when it comes to caring for health in old age. Muscles don't work alone. They're not just lifeless lumps of flesh that function well as long as they get enough protein. In truth, muscles, like an extension of the brain, only unleash their full power when properly activated by the nervous system. Picture this. Between your brain and every muscle fiber in your body lies an invisible communication line. Scientists call this the neuromuscular junction. When you're young, signals from the brain travel swiftly and clearly to your arms and legs, like a high-quality phone call. But as you age, these connections start to weaken, become unstable, and respond more slowly. That's why you may find yourself moving slower, reacting less fluidly, or hesitating before taking action. And here's the thing. Even if you eat enough protein and exercise regularly, if these neural pathways aren't kept strong, your muscles will still weaken because they're not receiving the right movement commands efficiently. This connection is like a power switch. If the switch is broken, even a brand new light bulb won't shine. So, what can we do to maintain, or even improve, this precious connection? The answer isn't complicated. Elderly people who remain quick and agile aren't necessarily better. They've simply learned how to activate both their brain and body at the same time. Instead of only training their arms, or just going for walks, they engage in activities that require coordinated effort between mind and body. And you can start with simple, everyday tasks. For example, practicing Tai Chi in the morning, slow and graceful, yet demanding focus and precise control over each movement. Playing chess, tic-tac-toe, or tossing a softball with your grandchild, a great way to move your limbs while stimulating reflexes and logical thinking. Washing dishes, cooking, or gardening. These might seem trivial, but they're excellent exercises in hand-eye coordination, balance, and concentration. These seemingly small activities are actually powerful ways to charge up your muscles. using direct signals from your brain. Additionally, it's important not to overlook breathing, a factor many ignore, yet it significantly affects neuromuscular coordination. One simple but highly effective exercise is called box breathing, a technique recommended by experts to enhance movement efficiency and mental clarity in older adults. Here's how it works. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds. Repeat for 3 to 5 minutes each day. Within just a few days, you may notice your body feeling more balanced, your breath deeper, and your movements, whether walking, standing, or reaching, smoother and more grounded. According to research published in the Journal of Neurology, individuals who regularly practice box breathing can improve muscle function by up to 15%, thanks to better neural connectivity and increased oxygen delivery to muscles. Don't underestimate the importance of the brain-muscle connection. It's the foundation of balance, flexibility, and control, 3 crucial elements for maintaining independence in old age. And once you've reawakened the biological power line between mind and body, it's time to fuel the muscles themselves. Because even with proper exercise and good movement, without the right nourishment, muscles can't maintain their strength. The key is not just getting enough protein, but also supplying the right micronutrients, the invisible workers that help convert protein into muscle, enhance absorption, and slow the aging process. So what are these micronutrients? And how can older adults supplement them naturally and safely to restore muscle strength? Let's explore that next. In habit number 3, micronutrient support to prevent muscle loss. In our younger years, simply eating enough was often all it took for the body to naturally recover and regenerate. But once we cross the age of 60, everything inside us begins to slow down, and eating enough is no longer enough. You might have 3 meals a day, rich in protein, vegetables, and fish. Yet if you're missing a few of the invisible workers, the essential micronutrients that help turn protein into muscle, your efforts may not bring the results you expect. That's why so many older adults say things like, "I eat plenty, but I still feel weak," or "I exercise regularly, but my knees still ache and my arms are sore," or "I drink milk every day, but I don't feel any stronger." The answer lies in micronutrients. Micronutrients are substances your body only needs in tiny amounts, but they play a massive role in sustaining life, metabolizing energy, repairing muscle tissue, and keeping the neuromuscular system running smoothly. If you think of protein as the bricks that build a house, then micronutrients are the cement, the tools, and the hands of the workers. Among them, 3 key micronutrients are especially vital for older adults who want to maintain or rebuild muscle strength. First is magnesium, Mg. Magnesium acts as a muscle moderator, helping to relax muscles, prevent cramps, and ease fatigue after activity. It's involved in over 300 metabolic reactions in the body, from energy production and heart rhythm to nerve function and muscle movement. Sadly, studies from the American Clinical Nutrition Institute show that over 70% of older adults are deficient in magnesium without even knowing it. Common signs include slight hand tremors, nighttime cramps, or muscle fatigue after standing or light exertion. The good news is, magnesium isn't hard to find. Foods like amaranth leaves, Malabar spinach, pumpkin seeds, cashews, ripe bananas, and mung beans are all excellent natural sources, easily absorbed and suitable for seniors. Second is creatine. Often associated with gym supplements, creatine is actually crucial for older adults, especially those looking to improve endurance, flexibility, and muscle contractions. It aids in the rapid regeneration of energy within the muscles, helping seniors walk farther, stand up more easily, and feel less exhausted during short bursts of activity. Creatine is found in red meat, tuna, and salmon, and can also be taken as a supplement, but it's important to consult a doctor before starting, especially to ensure compatibility with existing health conditions or medications. Third is vitamin B12. This vitamin is key in transmitting signals from the brain to the muscles. In younger people, B12 is easily absorbed through food. But as we age, especially in those with stomach issues or those on diabetes medications, B12 absorption drops significantly, leading to symptoms like numb hands, muscle weakness, or chronic fatigue without a clear cause. Vitamin B12 is abundant in seafood, eggs, organ meats, and milk. Additionally, seniors can take methylcobalamin B12 supplements, known for being easy to absorb and having fewer side effects. According to a study from Tufts University, older adults who supplemented with all three of these nutrients over a 12-week period increased their muscle strength by up to 25% compared to those who didn't. What's most remarkable is that this difference didn't come from eating more or training harder. It came simply from giving the body exactly what it needed. And fortunately, you don't need expensive foods. A small plate of boiled greens in the evening, a handful of nuts, a few slices of fish, a boiled egg, and most importantly, a consistent habit of caring for your body each day can make a huge difference for your long-term health. However, even with proper micronutrient intake and consistent exercise, there's still one silent enemy that can quietly undo all your hard work. Something that doesn't cause immediate pain, but slowly eats away at your muscle cells, weakening your body without you even realizing it. This is what we call silent inflammation, a biological phenomenon common among older adults, now recognized in the medical world as inflammaging or aging accompanied by chronic, low-grade inflammation. So what exactly is silent inflammation? Why is it so dangerous? And what can we do to stop it, starting today? Let's move into habit number 4, fighting silent inflammation, the number one enemy of muscle health. In life, some things don't hurt immediately, but slowly erode our health over time. Chronic inflammation, or silent inflammation, is one of those stealthy threats. Unlike sharp pains or visible injuries, silent inflammation doesn't stop you in your tracks. It doesn't force you to lie in bed or rush to the hospital. And that's exactly what makes it so dangerous. It creeps through the body like a smoldering ember, quietly, persistently, damaging cells, weakening muscle fibers, and wearing down the immune system year after year. This is the hidden reason why many older adults, despite eating well and staying active, still feel mysteriously weaker. It's not because they're doing something wrong. It's because their bodies are quietly burning from within without them realizing it. Scientists have coined the term inflammaging to describe this process, a blend of inflammation and aging. While it's a natural part of growing older, the good news is that it can be slowed down, or even controlled, if we live the right way. And the even better news? The solution to extinguishing this inner fire is surprisingly simple. Start with sleep. Deep, timely sleep is the most natural way for your body to recover and fight inflammation. During sleep, anti-inflammatory hormones are released at their strongest levels. On the flip side, staying up late, being exposed to blue light from phones or TVs, and irregular sleep disrupt your biological clock and increase cortisol, a powerful pro-inflammatory hormone. Try shifting your bedtime earlier by just 30 minutes. Avoid bright lights after 9 p.m., turn off the TV, place your phone away from the bed, read a calming book, or listen to soft music. After just a few days, you'll likely notice a calmer mind and more natural, restful sleep, without needing any sleeping pills. Next comes your diet. Some of the most familiar foods in Vietnamese kitchens are actually powerful natural anti-inflammatories. Fresh turmeric, rich in curcumin, a compound scientifically proven to inhibit more than 30 inflammatory molecules. Green tea, full of EGCG, which neutralizes free radicals, the root cause of chronic inflammation. Mackerel, sardines, salmon, excellent sources of omega-3s that protect blood vessels and reduce musculoskeletal inflammation. Fermented foods like yogurt, pickled mustard greens, and traditional fish sauce. These replenish gut-friendly bacteria and balance the gut microbiome, home to over 70% of your immune cells. Dark leafy greens, packed with vitamins, fiber, and natural antioxidants. Incorporating these foods into your daily meals, even in small, consistent amounts, can help your body cool down from within and gradually extinguish the hidden flames of inflammation. And don't forget gentle daily movement. Just 15 to 20 minutes of walking in the yard, gardening, tidying the house, or carrying water to water plants is enough to boost blood circulation, improve metabolism, and lower inflammation. The key is consistency, not overexerting, not skipping too many days. Your body doesn't need intense workouts. It needs regular movement. A study at Tufts University tracked a group of older adults who adopted lifestyle changes for 12 weeks, simply by sleeping better, eating anti-inflammatory foods, and engaging in light daily activity. The results were remarkable. Their levels of systemic inflammation dropped by 29%, a truly impressive number that not only made them physically stronger, but also improved their mood, sleep quality, and overall well-being. So if you find yourself feeling unusually tired, often achy, or simply lacking the motivation to move, even without any clear illness, it's very likely your body is experiencing silent inflammation. Start extinguishing that internal fire with the smallest steps: going to bed on time, enjoying a bowl of cooling vegetable soup, sipping green tea in the afternoon, or taking a gentle walk around the house. But beyond reducing inflammation, your body also needs a powerful boost from one often overlooked factor: sunlight. More specifically, vitamin D, often called the silent friend of muscle health. Millions of older adults in Vietnam believe that living in a sunny country means we're never short on vitamin D. But the reality is quite different. As the body ages, its ability to synthesize vitamin D from sunlight decreases significantly. And that leads to serious consequences for your bones, muscles, and immune system. So how do you know if you're lacking vitamin D? And how can you supplement it safely, effectively, and naturally? Let's move on to habit number 5, boosting vitamin D, the muscle vitamin. You might be surprised to learn that something as simple as sunlight is actually a key factor in maintaining strength as we age. Vitamin D, rightly nicknamed the muscle vitamin, does more than just build strong bones. It plays a crucial role in activating and sustaining muscle strength, supporting immune health, preventing silent inflammation, and, most importantly, reducing the risk of falls in seniors by up to 25%. However, studies around the world show that up to 80% of people over 60 are deficient in vitamin D, even in sun-drenched regions. It sounds ironic, but it's absolutely true. Why? Because after age 60, the skin's ability to synthesize vitamin D from sunlight drops by 50%. That means under the same sunlight, a younger person can make more than twice the amount of vitamin D as an older adult. Add to that the common habits of covering up, avoiding the sun, staying indoors, and eating diets low in D-rich foods, and the deficiency becomes even more pronounced. Older adults who lack vitamin D often don't show obvious symptoms. But if you pay close attention, there are quiet warning signs: knee pain, muscle weakness, unsteady walking, dull back pain, frequent colds, or losing balance when stepping down a stair. If you're experiencing any of those symptoms, don't rush to blame it on aging. You might just be missing one small, yet essential nutrient. So, what exactly does vitamin D do for your body? First, it boosts calcium absorption, keeping your bones strong, your joints healthy, and reducing the risk of osteoporosis and fractures. Second, it activates muscle fibers, like a switch. Without vitamin D, your muscles can't receive the proper activation signals, even if you're eating enough protein and exercising regularly. Third, it enhances neuromuscular coordination, reducing fall risk, improving balance, stability, and reaction time. Those 3 benefits alone are enough to prove. If you want to live independently for as long as possible and walk confidently on your own 2 feet, vitamin D is non-negotiable. So, how do you supplement vitamin D the right way? The simplest and most natural method is to get 10 to 15 minutes of sunlight per day, ideally between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m., when UVB rays are strongest for vitamin D production. You don't need to expose your whole body, just your forearms and calves, with no sunscreen, is enough. Additionally, try to include more vitamin D-rich foods in your daily meals, such as oily sea fish, mackerel, salmon, sardines, free-range eggs, especially the yolk, animal liver, fresh milk, and natural cheese. If you have signs of severe deficiency or are unable to get sunlight regularly, vitamin D supplements are a practical solution. Most older adults can safely take 2,000 to 4,000 IU per day, but it's best to get a blood test first to determine your specific needs and avoid oversupplementation, which can have side effects. By giving your body this essential fuel, you're not just nourishing your bones, you're powering your muscles, protecting your immune system, and lighting up the path to a stronger, more independent life. One crucial thing to remember: vitamin D works best when paired with vitamin K2. Without K2, the calcium your body absorbs can end up depositing in your blood vessels, leading to arterial calcification, instead of going where it's needed, your bones. Vitamin K2 is abundant in fermented foods like pickled mustard greens, natto, fermented soybeans, a Japanese specialty, animal liver, and natural cheeses. That's also why people who eat traditional diets, braised fish, pickled vegetables, free-range eggs, and fresh milk, tend to be less deficient in K2 than those who rely on heavily processed foods. And did you know? A study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that older adults who maintained stable vitamin D levels around 40 nanograms per milliliter had 25% stronger muscles, better balance, and a significantly lower risk of hospitalization from falls. It's amazing how a small change, like spending 15 minutes in the sun or adding a piece of oily fish to your meal, can make such a powerful difference. However, as you've seen, vitamin D, while essential, is only one piece of the puzzle. To truly stay strong, especially to preserve muscle, you need more than just training, fighting inflammation, and taking vitamins. You also need to pay attention to how your body receives nutrients every day. And here lies a common mistake many older adults make: eating enough protein, but at the wrong time. Many still tend to load their protein into lunch or dinner, while breakfast is often just white bread, plain porridge, or tea. This leaves the body without the building blocks it needs to maintain muscle throughout the day, leading to gradual, unnoticed muscle loss. So what's the right way to eat? And how do we distribute protein throughout the day to nourish muscle effectively, especially after age 60? Let's explore that in habit number 6, timed protein intake, the key to preserving muscle and dignity in old age. In my years of supporting older adults' health, one of the most common and overlooked mistakes I've seen is concentrating protein intake into a single meal, usually dinner. Many seniors start their day with a bowl of watery porridge, a slice of bread, or at most, a glass of unsweetened soy milk. Lunch is often light, and then, come evening, they finally sit down to a full meal with meat, fish, vegetables, and soup. It sounds reasonable, but it actually works against the body's natural rhythm, especially after the age of 60. Our bodies can only synthesize and convert protein into muscle efficiently within 3 to 4 hours after each meal. Outside of that window, if no new protein comes in, the body is forced to feed on itself, breaking down existing muscle tissue to create energy for basic function. This happens silently. There's no pain, no clear symptoms, but over time, it leads to a gradual loss of muscle, leaving older adults weaker, even if they're eating well. A study from the University of Texas divided older adults into 2 groups. One consumed most of their protein at dinner, and the other spread it evenly across 3 meals. After 12 weeks, the evenly distributed group gained an average of 0.5 kilograms of muscle, even though their total calorie intake and body weight remained the same. The takeaway? It's not about eating more, it's about eating at the right time. So, how do you eat protein the right way? It's simple. Make sure each main meal contains 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein. You don't need expensive beef or protein powder supplements. The humble, familiar dishes of Vietnamese home cooking can do the job beautifully. For breakfast, instead of just porridge, add a boiled egg, a warm glass of soy milk, or a few slices of soft tofu. Just that can give your body the fuel it needs to stay strong through the morning. At lunch, have a full bowl of rice with braised fish, steamed chicken, or stuffed tofu, along with a refreshing bowl of greens. This is the optimal time for absorption and conversion, helping your body rebuild the muscle it used in the morning. In the evening, you don't need to eat a large, heavy meal, but your dinner should still include some light plant-based protein, like mung bean soup, red bean stew, or a small portion of steamed fish. These are easy to digest while continuing to nourish your muscles through the night, when your body goes into repair mode during sleep. You can also include small protein-rich snacks throughout the day if you feel hungry or need a boost. A cup of yogurt, a handful of roasted cashews or pumpkin seeds, or a slice of cheese. These are all little allies that help feed your muscles without causing unwanted weight gain. Don't assume that building muscle means eating a lot and training hard. For older adults, the most valuable thing is consistency and quality. A small amount of protein, taken at the right time, repeated daily, is more effective than an occasional heavy meal eaten at the wrong hour. And once you've mastered the habit of eating right, knowing how to time and spread your protein throughout the day, your body will naturally return to a healthy rhythm, a steady, calm, and energized flow. However, there's one more factor, often misunderstood: yet absolutely essential to maintaining strength in old age: stress. We often fear stress, try to avoid it, believing that the quieter and calmer life is, the better. But the truth is, a little bit of positive stress, when used the right way, can be a powerful medicine, one that strengthens both body and mind. So what exactly is positive stress? How can we turn pressure into power, building muscle and resilience instead of wearing ourselves out? The answer lies in habit number 7, the final habit to complete this journey with power and purpose: harnessing positive stress to build strength. When we hear the word stress, most people instinctively try to avoid it. In our minds, stress equals negativity, pressure, anxiety, constant fatigue that accelerates aging, drains our spirit, and disrupts sleep. But that's only part of the picture. Stress isn't always harmful. The key isn't whether you experience stress, it's how you respond to it. Do you let it drain you, or do you channel it into something useful? Scientists now distinguish clearly between two types of stress: negative stress, which comes from chronic fear, anxiety, and long-term pressure. This is the type that weakens the body. Positive stress, also known as hormetic stress, brief, controlled, and mild stress that actually triggers the body's natural repair and adaptation systems, making it stronger. In other words, people who stay strong and vibrant into their 80s and 90s aren't free from stress. Instead, they've learned how to intentionally create small challenges that strengthen their body and mind every single day. One simple and powerful example is cold showers. Just 30 to 60 seconds under cool water in the morning not only wakes up the body and boosts circulation, but also stimulates the production of brown fat, a type of fat that generates heat and helps maintain muscle mass. Multiple studies have shown that cold exposure can increase mitochondrial activity, the power plants inside your cells, helping the body recover faster, boost immunity, and build resilience. On the flip side, sauna therapy or steam baths, done 2 to 3 times a week, are equally beneficial. Heat therapy not only dilates blood vessels and detoxifies the body, but also enhances heat tolerance, improves heart rate variability, and reduces inflammation naturally. In Finland, one of the countries with the highest life expectancies in Europe, saunas are part of everyday life. And here in Vietnam, we can easily make use of traditional methods like herbal steam, warm baths, or soaking the feet with ginger and salt. Simple, affordable, and deeply effective. In addition, creating small daily challenges is another form of positive stress well worth embracing. Learning something new, whether it's a brain game or a gentle handcraft skill. Try doing something slightly more challenging than usual, like walking 200 steps farther, lifting something a bit heavier, or standing just a little longer. Take on something you once hesitated to do, speaking at a neighborhood meeting, replanting a garden bed with your own hands, or simply changing your walking route for the day. Each of these small actions sends a clear signal to your body: I still want to grow. I'm still living actively. I'm not giving up. And when your body receives that signal, it switches into a mode of repair, regeneration, and strength building, both physically and mentally. The beautiful thing is, once you get used to these tiny pressures, you'll find yourself growing more resilient, not just in muscle, but in the way you face life's challenges. Everyday bumps in the road won't shake you as easily. You'll feel more grounded in the world, and your confidence in yourself will grow with every step. I once met an elderly man, 87 years old, who showered in rainwater every morning, rode his bike around the neighborhood, and challenged himself to memorize a new poem every month. He said, "As long as I'm alive, I'll keep learning, keep moving, keep going." That sentence struck me more deeply than anything else. Staying physically strong isn't enough. What matters even more is keeping your spirit moving forward. And now, after 7 habits, from exercise, nutrition, and inflammation control to nutrient support and mental fortitude, you hold in your hands a complete roadmap to live well, live actively, and live truly free in old age. You don't have to overhaul your whole life. Just choose one small thing to start with, and day by day, step by step, your body will respond with renewed vitality, stronger breath, and the kind of autonomy no number can ever take away. Dear friends, we've just walked a journey together, not a quest for some mythical elixir of immortality, but a journey to preserve dignity, independence, and vitality in the final chapters of life. Because longevity is a gift from nature, but living well, living actively, living without relying on your children, that's a gift we must give ourselves. And to do that, you don't need miracle pills. You don't need strict diets or expensive machines. Everything begins with simple, achievable habits, completely within reach, whether you're 60, 70, or well into your 90s. We've learned that building strength step by step helps us resist aging, not by doing more, but by doing it consistently. Maintaining the muscle-brain connection ensures each step is steady, each motion intentional. Supplementing essential micronutrients like magnesium, B12, and creatine feeds each muscle fiber from within. Fighting silent inflammation through good sleep, nourishing meals, and a calm, balanced routine protects us from within. Welcoming daily sunlight brings the power of vitamin D to our bones, muscles, and spirit. Distributing protein intake evenly throughout the day prevents our muscles from quietly starving and makes them a lasting foundation of strength in old age. And finally, embracing small daily challenges keeps both body and willpower sharp, fresh, and far from surrender. 7 habits, 7 small bricks. But if practiced each day, they form a sturdy bridge that carries you strong and steady into the journey of aging. This isn't about wishing for a miracle. It's about creating one through your choices, your effort, and your love for life. Remember, aging is inevitable, but weakness, dependence, and suffering, those are not. They are choices we can avoid if we begin to change, even just a little, from today. And remember, you are not alone on this journey. Every view, every share, every comment left below this video is a message, a reminder that we, older adults, are still learning, still taking action, and still moving forward. If you found today's message helpful, please give the video a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel so we can continue walking together, step by step, on this path to living well, living free, and living meaningfully in our later years. Wishing you, at any age, a youthful spirit, a strong body, and a heart that never stops shining brightly with life. See you in the next video. There is still so much good waiting for us ahead.